Good day, everybody. I hope that you're well, and I also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today, we'll be doing our grade 2 English lesson on possessive pronouns. And before we start, we're going to log on to aplusstudents.ca. Once you've logged on to aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, and then we're going to select the subject of English language arts. We're doing grade 2 and then we're going to scroll down up until we get to our chapter of possessive pronouns. All right. So, chapter is possessive pronouns. Our subject is English language arts. We're doing grade 2. And the lessons that we are going to be focusing on under the chapter of possessive pronouns is to identify possessive pronouns, and it's to use possessive pronouns. So we're going to identify possessive pronouns, and we're also going to use possessive pronouns. So that is going to be our lessons for today under the chapter of possessive pronouns. All right, so in our previous lesson, we spoke about personal pronouns, right? So now we'll be doing possessive pronouns. And a pronoun, firstly, it takes the place of a noun. And in this case, we'll be doing possessive pronouns, and possessive pronouns takes the place of a possessive noun. That's a possessive pronoun. It takes the place of a possessive noun. All right. So when it comes to possessive nouns or possessive pronouns, firstly, a noun, it names a person, it names a place, it names an animal, and it names a thing, right? So that is a noun. So when we talk about the possessive noun or possessive pronoun, right, then it shows that either someone owns something or it shows that someone has something. So if something belongs to you, then you own that thing, right? And then it means that we need to say, when it comes to pronouns, right, because it takes the place of a noun, so instead of saying the person's name, we're going to use words like my, his, her, its, our, theirs, and so on. And we're going to find out more about the different types of pronouns that we can use in order to show that something belongs to you, or to show that you own something or you have something. All right. So we said that our possessive pronouns, right? So instead of saying the person's name, then it means that we need to use pronouns instead of saying the person's name. So if you say, for example, if something belongs to John, then we're not going to say John's name. We're going to say it is his. If something belongs to Anna, we're not going to say it is Anna's ball or Anna's coat or something that belongs to Anna. We're going to say it is hers, right? So we basically need to show who has something, or we need to show who owns something. And that is what possessive nouns mean. Whether it is a possessive pronoun or just a possessive noun, it needs to show who has something or who owns something. All right. And if we look at an example, right, of possessive pronouns, and then the first example will be if we look at this example, I'm going to put this here. So if we look at this sentence over here, right, it says the baby girl took off her shoes, right? Right? And before we go to that example, once again, we say possessive pronouns. It takes the place of possessive nouns. So, like I say, instead of saying Amy's doll, we're going to say her doll. Instead of saying it is Xavier's ball, we're going to say it is his ball, right? Instead of saying something belongs to two or more people, we're going to say it is theirs. Something belongs to me and my friend, it's ours, right? Something belongs to you, it is yours. So if we look at this sentence, right? And before we go to the sentence, we see that possessive nouns, pronouns takes the place of possessive nouns. They show possessive pronouns. It shows who owns something or what owns something or even who has something. So if anything belongs to you or you own something or you have something, then it means that it belongs to you, right? And our examples, right? Sorry, not examples, are common words or common possessive words, Possessive pronouns are words like my, it's your, his, her, it's our, and their. It's their bike. It's our ball. It's his, it's her, it's my jacket. It's your jacket, for example. And these are possessive pronouns. My, your, his, her, it's, our, and they. That is possessive pronouns. And if we look at this example, right, we're going to select the possessive pronoun within that sentence. It says, the baby girl took off her shoes. What do you think the possessive pronoun is within that sentence? It says, the baby girl took off her shoes. What is the possessive pronoun within that sentence? So we need to select the possessive pronoun within that sentence. What do you think is the possessive pronoun? It is a word that takes the place of a noun. Shows us who owns something, or it shows us who has something. All right. And if we were to identify the possessive pronoun within that sentence, it says, the baby girl took off her shoes. And if we look at that sentence, right? And then we can say that her is our possessive pronoun. So her is our possessive pronoun because it shows who owns something or it shows who has something. And remember, we said that we want the pronoun, and the pronouns are words like my, your, his, her, its, our, and their. So those are possessive pronouns. It shows us who has something or it shows us who owns something. All right, so we're going to look at another example, right? That will show possessive pronouns. So we're going to identify the possessive pronouns within that sentence. All right. It says, sorry. The next one says, the boys will sleep in your tent. The boys will sleep in your tent. If we look at that sentence, What do you think will be the possessive pronoun? We need to identify the possessive pronoun within that sentence. It says the boys will sleep in your tent. And if we look at that sentence, we need to identify the possessive pronoun within that sentence. The boys will sleep in your tent. What do you think is the possessive pronoun within that sentence? And if we were select the possessive pronoun, then we can say your tent, because your is a possessive pronoun. Whose tent is it? It's in your tent. Guys, can all of us just stop, please? Everybody stop. If you are not in grade 2, please stick to the grade that you are supposed to be in, because some of you come to the specific grades and you don't listen. You are just here to talk. So everybody stop it now. I've been saying every week that I'm going to report you guys, and I think today is that day. So everybody just stop it, because you are disrespecting those who are here to learn. So if you're not in grade 2, please stick to your grade. And if you are here in grade 2, let us respect the others that are here. Please. So everybody stop talking. You'll only talk when a question is being asked or you ask me a question. So let us respect one another, because I am talking and talking, and it seems like the others are not even, they don't even get what I'm saying, because you guys are in the comments. So I'm not gonna. This is the last time that I'm going to speak to you guys. If next time I need to speak to you again, I'm going to just remove you. All right. So once again, we are doing possessive pronouns, and a possessive pronoun, it takes the place of a possessive noun, right? And possessive pronouns, it shows us who owns something or who has something, right? That is a possessive pronoun. Shows who owns something or who has something. But instead of saying the person's name, we say words like my, for example, it's my ball, or we use words like your, for it's like your ball, he's something, her something, it's our or their. Those are pronouns that basically shows that someone owns something or that someone has something. And we made an example of the baby girl took off her shoes, right? So now the question is, whose shoes is it? And then we identified the possessive pronoun, which is her. And then the next one was, the boys will sleep in your tent. And if we were to identify our possessive pronoun, and then we say it is your tent. And then if we look at the next one, right? The next one says, did the girls eat all their soup? So did the girls eat all their soup? Right? And if we identify our possessive pronoun within the sentence, then we can say it is their, because there is the possessive pronoun that shows who does something, who owns something, or who has something. It is their soup. Whose soup is it? It's their. Theirs refers to the girls. All right. And then also, if we look at these sentences, right, these three sentences, it says, the kitten belongs to me. If something belongs to me, then it is kitten. Is it my kitten, your kitten, his kitten, her kitten, it kitten, our it kitten, or their kitten? If the kitten belongs to me. And if we were to say that the kitten belongs to me, then we can say it is my kitten. So the kitten belongs to me, so we can say it is my kitten. And if we look at the next one says, those peanuts belong to Luke and me. If the peanuts belong to Luke and me, then what possessive pronoun can we put in here that says they are peanuts? If that peanuts belong to Luke and me, do we say it is my peanuts, your peanuts, his peanuts, her peanuts, its peanuts, our peanuts, or their peanuts? Whose peanuts is it? And if we were to identify our specific pronoun, right? That means Luke and me, and then we can say they are our peanuts. If something belongs to me and someone, then it is our. If I say something belongs to them, then it's theirs. And then the next one says, those shoes belongs to us. If those shoes belongs to us, then they are shoes. Is it my shoes? It belongs to us. Your shoes, his shoes, her shoes, its shoes, our shoes, or their shoes. That's if the shoes belongs to us. So we need to choose the correct one. If the shoes belongs to us, then we can say they are our shoes. So whether it belongs to Luke and me or it belongs to us, then we say it is our shoes, right? And that is how we can use possessive pronouns as well as identify possessive pronouns. And remember, possessive pronouns, it takes the place of a possessive noun. And it means that you own something or you have something or something belongs to you. And once again, our possessive pronouns are my, your, his, her, its, our, and their. That is our possessive pronouns. All right, so now we're going to a plus students.ca, where we're going to identify possessive pronouns. All right, and before we go on, if we look at the first sentence, it says Mr. Lister works in her garden. What is our possessive pronoun that we can identify within that sentence? That says Mrs. Lister, works in her garden. What is our possessive pronoun within that sentence? And if we were to choose our correct possessive pronoun within that sentence, it says Mrs. Lister works in her garden, then we can say her is our possessive pronoun. Her. In whose garden? It's in her garden. And her refers to Mrs. Lister. And if we choose the correct one, we can say her garden. So her is the possessive pronoun. Her garden. Yes, well done. Her is correct. All right. All right. If we look at the next one says we need to select the possessive pronoun within that sentence. It says Evan will walk our dog. So Evan will walk our dog. What is the possessive pronoun within that sentence? So Evan will walk our dog. We need to select the possessive pronoun. And if we identify the possessive pronoun, we can say it is our. All right, so now we're going to our test where we are going to select possessive nouns, or we're going to identify possessive nouns. All right, so we need to identify the possessive pronouns within the sentence. It says, select the possessive pronoun. The boys will sleep in your tent. We need to select the possessive pronoun. Is it option one, will, or option two, your? Do we say it's will option one or your option two? So the boys will sleep in your tent. Option one or option two? All right, then if we choose the correct option, then we can say the boys will sleep in your tent, which means that our possessive pronoun will be your. All right, yes, well done. Your is correct. The next one says Wendy found her cat in the yard. So Wendy found her cat in the yard. What is the possessive pronoun? Is it found, option one, or her, option two? Which one is correct? Option one or option two? So we need to choose the correct option. And if we were to choose the correct option, we would say Wendy found her cat in your yard or in the yard. So her is our possessive pronoun. So her. All right. Yes. Well done. Her is correct. All right. The next one says select the possessive pronoun. The dog wags its tail. So we need to select the possessive pronoun. The dog wags its tail. So it's a dog, option one, or its, option two. All right, and if we were to choose the correct option, the dog wags its tail, and then we can say it is its, option two. Because that tail belongs to the dog, and the dog is the one that is wagging the tail. All right, so the dog wags its tail, so that option one, dog, option two, its. All right, and if we choose the correct one, we can say the dog wags its tail, which means that its is our possessive nouns. And if we were to choose the correct one, then we will say its. And its is correct. Yes, well done. All right. So now we're going on to the next one where we're going to use possessive pronouns. We had to identify the possessive pronouns within the sentences, but basically just underlining if it is your, if it is my, if it is his, her, it's our, or their. But now we're going to use possessive pronouns, right? Within a sentence. It says, those plants belong to the students. If the plants belong to the students, then we can say they are plants. Who does the plants belong to? All right, and it says that those plants belong to the students. They are, so we can say they are their plants because it belongs to the students, right? It belongs to them, their. All right, let's look at another one and then we're going to our test. It says, those peanuts belong to Luke and me. So those peanuts belong to Luke and me. And then what can we say? What is our possessive pronoun? And if we were to choose the correct one, and then we say that the peanuts belong to Luke and me. So if it belongs to Luke and me, then we can say it is our peanuts. If something belongs to me and someone, then it's ours. Someone belongs to you and someone else, then it is yours or theirs. Right? So now let's go to our test where we are going to use possessive pronouns. All right, so we need to use the possessive pronoun. It says complete the sentence with the correct possessive pronoun. Is it option one? Before that, it says the radio belongs to you. The radio belongs to you. Do we say it is your radio or do we say it is you radio? Which one is correct? All right, so it says the radio belongs to you, and then we can say the radio belongs to you. Then we can say option one, it is your radio. So option one. All right, the next one says the balls belong to the students. So the ball belongs to the students. And if we were to choose the correct one, it says those balls, sorry, belong to the students. They are, do we say their balls or do we say they are its balls? Which one is correct? All right, and it says those balls belong to the students. And if the balls belong to the students, then we can say it is their ball. Right, so there is correct. All right, let's do the last one. It says that television belongs to him. That television belongs to him. All right, so the television belongs to him. Do we say it is his television or do we say it is her television? All right, and that television belongs to him. So we can say it is his television because it's a boy. So we say his. For girl, we say hers. So his is correct. All right. So this is the end of our lesson on possessive pronouns, right? And we say possessive pronouns, it takes the place of an actual noun. And a possessive pronoun shows who has something because it shows the position, or not position, it shows who owns or has something. All right, so this is now the end of our lesson on possessive pronouns. And I really hope that you have a better understanding of what possessive pronouns are. So till next time, goodbye.